You are listening to the Warrior Project podcast, where mindset, tribe, and violence meet.
My name is Justin Garcia. Some of you guys know me as Master Chim, and welcome to the Warrior Project podcast. Today we have a pretty interesting topic, one that I've spoken about at great length over the years in various podcasts and different content that I've put out there. We're going to talk about tribe. Today's query: why is tribe important? Why is tribe important? Before we get into that, I just want to remind you guys that the Warrior Project podcast is on iTunes. It is found in other podcast databases. And the more you guys review us, the better and more easily we could be found in the search engines. Now, what does that mean? That means more people listen to it, more people download it. It gives me the ability to put more episodes out, obviously. So if you could do me a favor, if you're enjoying this content so far, and this is episode 3, we're turning them out already. If you are enjoying it, please consider leaving us a review, a rating, if you will. It's even better if you jot something down, but I know you're probably busy. All that being said, let's get back to today's topic. So, why is tribe important? So let's start off with identifying what tribe is. Even that is something that it's a little presumptuous to just consider that everybody knows what that is and everybody has a functional understanding of what tribe means. I define tribe as a group of identities joining together to pursue the same mission. Okay? So now, if you guys have ever listened to the Loyalty Matrix, my formula for tribe, you know that I look at the tribe as one application of what the Loyalty Matrix describes. Meaning, when we talk about tribe, the functional understanding of tribe and application of the term tribe, I think we usually understand, we commonly understand to apply to our legacy, to our family, to the people, the actual individuals in our lives that we spend time with, that we participate in activities with, that we marry, that we have children with, that we raise, that we support, protect, etc., etc. So there is a sort of level, an application and a level of the loyalty matrix that I would frame as tribe. Right? So tribe is a group of identities, or in this application, we could say people, a group of people that are joining together to pursue the same mission. Now, usually in the application of tribe, the mission pertains to survival. It pertains to a legacy, ritual. It's sort of the people you want to spend time around with, the people who you benefit from spending time around with. Right? So why is it important? Well, I think if we look throughout history, tribe has created a synergy that's allowed individuals to become more. So if you're not familiar with the concept of synergy, it's basically that, the sum is greater than or the total is greater than the sum of the parts. I always say that wrong. You guys understand what I mean. Let me give you an analogy, right? So imagine a bunch of, and this is not specifically, this is a hypothetical to explain the idea, not a specific example of tribe. But imagine you have a bunch of 6 feet men, right? Bunch of men, 4, 5, 10, 20, doesn't matter, of 6 feet, men who are 6 feet tall. And they have to get over a 20-foot wall. Now, it doesn't matter how smart each individual is, how strong each individual is, how high an individual can jump, right? Nobody's jumping over a 20-foot wall. There's a certain limitation to the attributes of the individual that prevents him from navigating that wall. And no matter how rich, smart, good-looking, athletic, etc., that individual is, he needs other people. And tribe has sort of served functionally in that purpose throughout history. It's kind of how we've evolved, right? So that's another reason, another take on why tribe is important. We've actually evolved as a species embracing the dynamics of tribe, right? So you could say that we're collectively ready or even talented in the operation of a tribe, right? We are ready. We are employees ready to be hired by a tribe, so to speak. Okay, so now if you look at why tribe is something that nowadays, it's 2017 when I'm recording this. Like, why is it that I want to pursue tribe if I'm an individual in today's society? Let's say that I have a good job and I have a girlfriend or wife, and I don't necessarily need anybody, right? I like my job. I go to work. I come home. I sit down with my wife. We eat dinner. We watch TV. Then we go to sleep. Maybe we do something before we go to sleep. But let's just say I'm the average guy nowadays. What is the value of tribe? Why does tribe matter? Do I really need tribe? Well, I'm somebody that contends and really tries to convey to individuals that nowadays we live in an aquarium. Okay, we live in a reality that is designed by other people. As I'm recording this, I'm actually in New York City at my martial arts academy in the Bronx. And I look at the people outside, and these people do not know how to hunt, fish. They don't know how to create a shelter. They don't know how to birth a child. They don't know how to tend a wound. They don't know how to navigate through the wilderness. They don't know how to clean water to make it drinkable. They don't know how to do a lot of things that as a species we would not be here if at some point our ancestors did not learn, right? And did not learn how to master. Yet these people thrive as individual components in the aquarium of this society. For all those things they don't know, well, they do know how to cross a busy city street. They do know how to take the subway to get to work. They do know how to speak to their employer. They know how to cash a check. They know how to walk into a store. They know how to order food. They know how to order clothes online. They know how to call the guy to have him deliver oil. If the furnace or the heat breaks down, they know how to call somebody to fix it. So the skills that they possess are very much specific to this specific scenario, I would call aquarium, in which they live. Well, tribe allows us to be a little bit more resilient than the specific set of skills needed for a specific aquarium. Tribe allows us to survive in many different environments. Why? It allows us to become insulated from threats, right? If we're somebody who is a part of a collective tribe, we're not limited to our individual skills. We have access to the skills of everybody that is a part of our tribe. We understand that, and if you think about how we've evolved as individuals, we don't like being alone. Sure, there's plenty of us who need some quiet time every now and again, but maybe even there's a historical argument for that being a component of how we used to live our lives. But we all know that, hey, if you want to have children, you can't do it alone as much as you may try. Right? So there is a very functional reason why tribe is something that we should be pursuing and why it's something that empowers our lives. But I would argue right down to the biology of who we are and how we developed. Being around other people is what we're designed to do. Okay? So what's my take? Why is tribe important? Well, nowadays, 2017, survival. Survival is important in tribe, not only from physical threats, but it could be economic threats. It could be psychological threats. We all know that the ebbs and flows of one's confidence and the prevalence of depression nowadays. Sometimes we need to be reminded just by the presence of other perspectives that falling down the rabbit hole isn't something that we should be doing when it comes to just thinking by ourselves and taking on life's issues by ourselves. So survival, right? And with that, a certain insulation, right? I know that You look at my father recently, who is at the time of this recording, actually stranded in Puerto Rico with so many other people, and in contact with my mother a few days ago, he described how after the Hurricane Maria, that knocked out power on the whole island and really, brought the entire island to a standstill, he spoke about how his small village, his small community, sort of joined together, and they accessed a local well. They started pooling together food. They started, assigning different tasks to the groups. They started paying attention, checking up on each other, so they immediately became a functional, synergy generating tribe, right? And all it took was that one event to have everybody snap into a role that, whether they knew it or not, they were designed to fulfill, right? So along with the insulation and survival aspects of tribe, you have fulfilling potential, right? Some people are going to thrive in environments where they could leverage the synergy created by the people around them that are on similar missions, right? We all know that, hey, I'm a people person. Well, what does that mean? Are there people that thrive in leadership roles? Well, think about how virtuous we hold great leaders to be in our society. Well, who is a leader if not somebody who has leveraged positively and powerfully the dynamics of tribe? Right? Show me a leader that lives by himself, that exists by himself, that exists only to pursue his self, right? And obviously we'll find that it's yet another example of why tribe is important. And the last thing I would say is legacy. Legacy. We're not going to live forever. All right. I've always contended, what are the two most important things for me, Justin Garcia, in my life? Well, to have a strong legacy and to die a good death. I just have two things I need, right? Not easy, either one of them, by the way. But legacy is that important to me, right? How do we live forever? We live forever in the minds, hearts, and souls of our offspring, of our children, right? So all of these things are important in tribe. So do me a favor, if you guys are enjoying this content, if you're enjoying this podcast, visit masterchim.com. It is the Master Chim letter. It's my daily email. If you go to masterchim.com, there's a little email form. You could put your email in, press send, activate, go, whatever the button says. I think by now everybody's used to this process, right? I'm not going to share your emails, but I am going to use it to send you an email every morning. Sometimes these emails talk about things just happen to be on my mind, current events, specials, announcements, things of that nature. Just to stay in touch with me and yet find another way that you and I can connect. Aside from that, you can go visit thewarriorproject.com. And thewarriorproject.com is where two main things are. Number one, this podcast, right? So you may be listening to this through iTunes, but thewarriorproject.com is someplace you could always go and find back episodes and everything that I've recorded and released under the Warrior Project podcast name. Aside from that is also the portal by which members of my membership group pass through, right? Get past the wall. The Warrior Project Tribe is my membership group, and there's a whole slew of benefits for being a member. And you could find out a little bit more about that on thewarriorproject.com. So masterchim.com for the daily email, thewarriorproject.com for podcast archives, and access to my membership group. Aside from that, I appreciate you guys. And I know you guys are busy, so I always, make it a point to mention how grateful I am that you are investing your time in listening to this content. But I'll talk to you guys next time. And remember, warriors, someone believes in you. Prove them right.